Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Monday Morning Mobility. My name is Jeff Blanchard and I'm here to offer you some more advice to help you minimize pain, to help you avoid that possible injury that might be around the next corner. And today's episode is how to KT tape the knee. And I'd like to actually share a number of different episodes where I can demonstrate some taping for those of you who are dealing with some pain, or for even patients, where I can refer you to this video and you can look at this and be reminded of how we're doing things in the clinic. I did want to show you the tape. This is a lovely pink color that we're going to use today. So there are various companies that create tape like this. So there's Kinesio tape, there's KT tape, this is Spartan tape. And what is the similarity between these different kinds of tape is the tape is elastic. And so it's on a paper backing, and then the tape has elasticity to it. And that elasticity is what allows the tape to be able to function in the way that we want to use it. So when you do cut some pieces of Kinesio tape, I would advise you to round the edges of the Kinesio tape. The reason is because it will stay on you longer if you've rounded the edges. If you have square edges, it'll catch on clothing, it'll peel off of you, and once this tape starts to peel off of you, it's just going to keep peeling off of you, and you might as well just take it off. So round the edges. There are some tapes out there that you can buy with already pre-rounded edges, and then you can apply that. So first I'm going to introduce you to my assistant. So I'd like to introduce you to Sean Bennett. Sean is a physical therapy student from USC, and he is in some of his final months of training before he gets licensed in physical therapy. And he's volunteered to come and be a subject as we go through some taping. It's a lot easier for me to tape somebody than to tape myself. Okay, so when you go to tape the knee, now we're going to oftentimes use this taping technique for pain that is somewhere around in the front of the knee, what we would call anterior knee pain or patellofemoral pain. This kind of taping can oftentimes help the patella or the kneecap stay in a position where it is happier rather than the kneecap moving off to one side or the other. It basically helps to improve the congruity between this bone and the bone beneath. So I would suggest that you have your knee in a position where you're about 30 degrees bent. So let's actually bring your leg out so you're more like that. The foot is still on the floor. You don't want to have your foot off the ground because this muscle needs to be relaxed. All right, so foot on the ground, this muscle's relaxed, and so relax that muscle a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to take one of our long strips. Now I typically like to start up here and then work my way up because this is a landmark that's not going to move around on people. So there's a tendon that comes through the knee and attaches to the tibia right at this spot, and that's where I'm going to have my starting point. I'm going to go around one side and I'm going to go around the other side. The way you start this tape is you take it and you peel it back. Oftentimes your thumb or your finger can just kind of peel it back a little bit. And you want to expose about 1 inch of the tape. I like to fold the the paper. Some people tear the paper. And then I'm going to take this and start at an angle and apply it to that bony prominence. Then I'm going to stretch the tape out or take the paper off to the last inch. Now, this is no stretch. This is maximal stretch. That's too much. We want to be about 50%, right about there. And so with that, I'm going to then lay the tape around the patella, and I'm going to pull that pan up a little bit more. And then once I get to the last inch, pull the paper off, set it down. So there's no tension under the last inch and there's no tension under the first inch. So there's my first piece. Now if you got a little more hair on your leg like Sean does, it takes a little more time for that tape to set up a nice stick. If you're really hairy, you might have to shave your leg if you want this to stay on there pretty well. So, all right, so again, peeling that first inch. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction. Here, pull the paper off to about an inch, 50% stretch. So I'm coming around the other side of the patella. And then this last piece, I like to place this up and underneath the patella. So I'm going to take this paper, tear it, and then peel it back. So now I have about an inch and an inch on both sides. Now I can come underneath the patella. And again, here's my stretch. I'm doing a little bit more like a 75% stretch with that one. Come up here, and then sticking those down. And that is my taping technique for anterior knee pain. So thank you for joining me today for today's episode of Monday Morning Mobility. If you enjoyed the episode today, please share it with a friend or give us a thumbs up review. And remember, you need to move it or lose it.